because people have other ways to distract themselves from reality and kind of flee from reality.
So welcome to the IELTS Speaking Challenge. Today we have Elisa from
Germany.
Taking the test. Viewers, listen carefully and rate the answers from 1 to 9, right, in the comments. So first of all, I'd like to ask you some questions about your daily routines. What do you usually do on weekends?
I normally sleep in and then have breakfast with my family because like on weekdays it's just like everybody fixes something small for themselves, but like on weekends we do like a brunch kind of thing. So have big breakfast, go to a bakery, get some buns and then like sit together and talk for a while. And then normally, depending on if I had school or not, I would meet up with some friends, I would study a bit. My parents wanted me to clean my room. So I did do that quite a lot, mostly on weekends. And then, yeah, just doing the regular stuff. And then in the nights, sometimes I had movie nights with my parents or we went out with friends. And now like I've been traveling for a couple months, so weekends and weekdays didn't really like different a lot. So.
Do you prefer to wake up early or stay up late, and why?
I prefer to stay up late and wake up like normal, I guess. So normally I go to bed around like midnight and then wake up around 8. I feel like it also works really well with hostels because if you get up a lot earlier, nobody else is up, and like people are just going to bed late anyways. So for traveling, that is like a really good routine. And other than that, I normally like get up depending on if I go to school or if I go to work. Like when I worked, I had to get up at like 5:30. And for school at 6:30, so yeah,
right.
Just differs.
Do you like to plan your day in advance or do you prefer to be spontaneous?
I'm spontaneous, but I learned that I like to have a little bit planned. Like I don't have to have the plan ready the day before, but like on the day in the morning, I make like a little plan. Okay, what am I gonna do today? If I am somewhere, if I'm just at home, like I also like to be spontaneous. Like my family is really spontaneous, so we don't do a lot of plans.
Right. So now I'm giving you a topic. You have 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to speak. So this is the cue card. You can look at it, and if you want to, you can use the pencil to prepare because later you have 2 minutes to talk, right? Until I stop you. You ready? You have 1 minute to prepare. 1 minute starts. You ready?
Yeah.
So now you have 2 minutes to share about the topic. What is the topic?
Describe a book you recently read.
Yeah, describe a book you recently read. Okay, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, start.
So a book I recently read was It Ends With Us. It's currently also in the cinema, or I think maybe already on Netflix, but a lot of people are watching the movie now, and there's like a whole discussion because like the actors there's like a lot of drama going on, so it's a lot in the media. But I got the book in a hostel and then I read it. It's about Lily Bloom, and she like meets a guy and they bond over how they call it naked truth. So like over like they meet when they're at their worst, I guess, and then they kind of bond over that. Then they don't see each other for like half a year, meet again like coincidentally. And he's normally not the type for relationships, but then like he falls in love with her, like obviously, and they kind of get into a relationship and everything is great, but then like some incidents happen where he accidentally hurts her, like he doesn't do it on purpose, but he hurts her, so it's basically about abuse, and how if you're abused by a loved one, it's really hard to like get out of the situation and think straight and not make up excuses for it, because then they are so married and stuff like that, and it's about like this whole topic, and at the same time it's about her and her first love and how she can't forget that guy. Actually, I think I messed up the names. I think her first love was called Atlas, and then I don't remember the name of the guy. But so she's like in between like her first love and her like current love, and like that's the whole topic, like who to decide, like how to decide and how to deal with an abusive relationship. And it's explaining how like the image we have of abusive relationships isn't always like real, because you're like, okay, why doesn't she leave him? And I feel like she has a really good way of explaining why it's not that easy to leave. Yeah.
It's over 2 minutes. Thank you. So let's move to part 3. So following the part 2, do you think people read more or less nowadays compared to the past?
I mean, I haven't lived in the past, so technically I can't really know, but I can imagine that it's less, because nowadays we have movies, we have series, we have books, we have TikTok, we have Instagram. There are just so many apps and other things you can have, like you can get content from, and like stories, like I can listen to audiobooks as well. So like reading isn't your only source where you get information and like stories from. So I think it's less because of that, and because people have other ways to distract themselves from reality and kind of flee from reality.
Yeah. How do you think technology has changed the way people read?
I mean, I kind of already said that. Like people, like I think they used to have the time to read, and now with also like TikTok and stuff, everything gets really short, and your attention span gets shorter. So I feel like people often don't have the patience anymore to just sit down and read, because also like a lot of people have their phone on loud, and then you get distracted like from like a message you receive and stuff. So I think it's more uncommon that people sit down for like an hour or two to read. And, yeah.
Do you prefer ebooks or physical books, and why?
Depending on the situation. At home I prefer physical books, because it's just nicer. I don't know, I like having them in my hand, and it's, I don't know, it's like old school, and you see the cover and color, and I don't know, I like it more. But for convenience, for travel, definitely ebooks, because like I do have an e-reader with me, but it's kind of broken, so it's hard to charge. So I have some actual books, and they're just heavy to take up a lot of space. And I have, I think, 4 with me right now, which is a lot, like it's just a lot of weight. But I want to have the possibility to choose which one I want to read. And with an ebook, I can have like 30 at the same time, and I can reread them because I don't have to give them away because they're too heavy. And it's just a lot more convenient. It uses up a lot less space. It's a lot lighter. You can have more, and it's cheaper as well.
Right. That's the end of today's IELTS speaking challenge. So thank you, Elijah, for anticipating in this test. So viewers, Eliza, she didn't know or doesn't know anything about the IELTS test. So that's the purpose of this this series. I want to interview people that don't know the test, and then how would you, like without preparation, how would you answer it in a natural way, right? So hopefully it's help you learn a bit of English. But then if you could score yourself from the scale from 1 to 9, what score would you like? Would you score? Would you give yourself? I
think I could have talked a little bit better, like grammar-wise, And like when I know I'm in an actual test, I think
You
more
prepare,
of a
right?
structure. So like now it's just like, oh well, I'm just gonna answer.
So next time I have to, dress up more professionally.
No, but like then you know what they expect from you. So they're like normally there's a structure they want for certain tests. It's mostly like introduction and then your main part and then get like to a conclusion. So I would normally do that. So maybe like.
Have you ever
6 or
taken
7.
any kind of English
Language?
test, like formal English test before?
I've taken a French test.
French?
Yeah, a French exam. I mean, our English like graduation, like we have a final for our graduation, which counts like 30% of our grade or something. So it counts a lot. I did that orally, so that was kind of like this. Like you had, you got a question, you had half an hour, like you got the question and materials, and you got half an hour to prepare the topic, and then you had to have like a 10-minute presentation about it. Then you got 5 minutes of questions to the same topic, and then you had 15 more minutes of just questions over the things you learned in school, and you had to answer and stuff. So that was kind of my English test I did. I don't know, it's not like, it's official from school, but like not something like you would do for international students or something.
Right. So thank you. What score would you give Elisa, teachers and everyone? So give me your comments below. Bye.